Oh my God, slop, damn, slop, damn. Cubicle alert like bats on the ceiling. Black on my cape, can't see what I'm dealing. Black in my heart, can't feel any feeling with my slot ass slut, so I gotta keep.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Hey,
How you doing, Frank?
I'm actually doing really fucking good.
Look at my fucking chin, dude.
I know, dude. That's so gross.
It is. I don't know what it. I've always had like even at my skinniest.
Yeah, if you
It
still
wasn't
have like
that bad. It wasn't that bad, but it's still more than I should. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I was on YouTube and I saw an ad for a thing for that, and it's like this rubber piece that you put in your mouth, and then you just bite on it.
Listen, I saw that too. I don't think.
And you don't think it works? That coach or whatever said it works.
I'll just get like the really hard bubble gum that just the flavor goes away. They're like 25 cents.
Yeah, my mom has this thing. My mom has this pump that goes here, and then she just goes up and down, and it works out your neck supposedly.
It's for this is
it's
like
for that. Yeah, I don't know. They say that there's ways to work out the facial muscles so they like restrict or whatever, but I don't know what that life's like. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it's just my dad is like that. You know, I think it's just genetic. You know,
it's just genetic. What's wrong with your face? It's genetic.
It's just I get it. I look so much like my dad.
Oh, that's funny.
Like my dad is like, I saw when I was in like sixth grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I was gonna graduate from sixth year, or I had just graduated. I don't know. I saw an old document, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or just a document, I guess. But it was I was like, oh, when did I take this picture? And what is this? And it was my dad.
Oh shit!
It was just.
It wasn't even you.
So it was like my dad when he was that same age at the time that I was looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So it looked exactly. We looked exactly the same, just a different haircut.
Yeah.
And the picture wasn't black and white.
That's funny.
You know, but like other than that, we're the same person.
That's crazy.
It's just much darker than me.
Yeah.
It's just family's dark, you know?
Speaking of dads, I beat my dad at basketball today, and I'm really happy about it.
Like I told you,
I'm so happy. He's like 70, dude.
He's 70. You're 30.
Yeah, I'm a really unhealthy, fat 30-year-old. So it's like I have the body of a 70-year-old. So technically, like even
I could probably work out longer than you and shit.
You know what's funny? I beat him, and he was all like, "I let you win." I was like, "Shut up," and he probably did.
Maybe he did because he was like, "This is not going to be good for him."
It's not.
I don't want to kill himself tonight. 70-year-old guy beats for basketball.
The $40 hoop we got is what ultimately ended my life.
what did it?
I couldn't handle the loss. This is so fucking funny.
But this is completely useless, guys.
Yeah. So if you're your first time listening,
here for another week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys to the returning listeners. Hope you like it.
Yeah.
Hope you like it.
We just been
joined. I know it sucks out there. So,
all right, Ian, what up?
I don't see him on the screen.
You don't see him? Yeah, I just added him. I can see him. Hold on, let me see. Still nothing?
No. Oh, what's up, dude? Oh, is it gonna be switching out like that?
Yeah, it's gonna be switching out.
I can't see both of you guys.
You could change your view so you can see all three of us at the same time. But
how do I do that?
I don't know how to do it on the phone. But it changes automatically, so when the video comes out, it shows who's talking.
All right. Well, we're joined today by none other than Ian McCall. What's up, Ian?
How are you?
Hey, doing great, man.
Chilling. We're doing a thing during quarantine where we call our previous guests and shit, and we thought it'd be awesome to talk to you right after the UFC 249.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fights are on right now. I was just watching them.
I have not had the chance to go and check it out. Check the ones today, but I mean, I'm still processing the other ones from the weekend. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the fights were crazy. All those fights were great.
Dude, it's the same thing tonight. Fights tonight are super good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out on the app later.
The
But
thing that surprised me the most.
first question.
Go ahead. I didn't know you got to think.
Go
I didn't know
ahead.
you got to think.
No, I mean, okay. First thing I want to ask Ian, that Dominic Cruz fight, was it stopped early to you? What do you think?
Yeah, because that's a championship fight, and Dominic's tough, and I think, I mean, I'm a little biased because he's my friend, but
Right. He ate like 10 punches though, and he wasn't. It looked to me.
I get it.
To my untrained eye, it looked like he wasn't doing anything to defend himself for like 10 punches. So,
which I totally understand, but there was some sort of momentum. I'm fine with the stoppage. I think it was okay. I mean, but I think it could have been let longer. That's all. Dominic's a fucking stud, and he's proved that multiple times. And when there's that much on the line, you let things go a little longer. That's kind of an unsaid.
Yeah, it's gotta be difficult for the referee too, because you see him eat so many punches. It feels to me, watching the replay and stuff in slow motion, it looks like as he was stopping it, that's when Dominic was starting to try to get up, and that's why Dominic was so mad.
Yeah, and it's just something Dominic trains every day for, like, that's what you do your whole life. When you get that good thing, that your body just works that efficiently. Your brain works efficiently. You're half conscious, but I mean, again, I get why he made the call, but I also understand the feeling of being able to go a little longer. I mean, that's and I'm someone that teaches how to heal brain damage, and I'm against trauma and stuff. Like, I'm trying to change this for the better, and I get it. These are athletes, these are fighters. They put their lives on the line every time they do this, and you could let it go farther, because that's just.
Especially I do see it because the fight had like 5 seconds left. The round was almost over, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure the time, but it was close.
Yeah, it was seconds. It was less than 10 seconds.
Yeah,
so
wow, I didn't. That's exactly. It could have definitely gone longer.
You think if the fight had gone another round or the length, because to me it looked like Cejudo was kind of dominating the fight.
It was.
So once you get into those championship rounds, Dominic is super experienced. He's been there multiple times. You think it would have? You think he could have like turned it?
I mean, of course he could have. I mean, do I see it happening the way he was being broken down? And again, I'm not a fan of Henry Cejudo. I mean, as a fighter, of course, but I'm friends with Dominic. So but he was getting shellacked. His legs were getting chopped. That's how you beat Dominic. Unless you have really, really good boxing and an amazing game plan like Cody had that one day. But he added in kicks too. You have to kick Dominic, and that's why, that's how you stop him. That's how you stop him from moving. And then it's all head movement. There's just no foot movement with it. So he's not going anywhere, and that's what started to happen. And then, his movement got timed real well because Henry is really good. And he timed that knee perfectly. I mean, that's what he does.
It was insane.
That good.
So that's another thing that, like, Dominic, like, that happens. Maybe he could have won. Maybe he could have kept going longer. But you get caught, and that's, like, part of the sport. You get caught like that, so you just kind of take your loss, Well, it was a championship fight, so obviously there's a lot on the line. And then Cejudo fucking retired, supposedly. So it's like
this is a big part of it.
You're not going to get a chance again.
This is a big part of it. There is an overwhelming urge to keep everyone safe. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I have a study going with the UFC, and well, not directly with them, but they invite me to the fights to talk to everybody. I've sent business proposals over and everything. We've sat with them and talked. They don't want guys to take damage. Dominic took damage with those shots, a lot of damage. And for him to come back, and let's say he got out of the round, he's already concussed. So realistically, he shouldn't be fighting. I mean, I know he wants to. I'm okay with it because you buy the ticket, take the ride. But but from a medical standpoint, from a business standpoint, that's bad for business. That's and I hate to say it. It's good for business on one hand, because you get an instant gratification sort of thing, a dopamine response out of it, like, oh my god, that guy got crushed, it was crazy. But then you lose potential on a star. So you have to kind of weigh the balance and see, I mean, the coin falls on both sides all the time, so you kind of get both sides of it. So, this is just one of those things that those calls are going to be made, and you have to just take them for what the judge calls it.
Right. And you think with Cejudo retiring now, does that put Dominic? I'm not sure what the rank is exactly, but that's got to put Dominic either way in a close to a title fight again soon, right?
Oh yeah, he can always get a title fight soon. But I think what they'll try and push is one of the three: Cody, TJ, and Dominic. It's going to be one of those three probably, or no, Peter Yan. Sorry, that's the new guy. So maybe they have those four fight, and then figure out I don't know. We'll see.
And then see like interim titles, and then from there they'll take it from there, right? See who's champ again. That's also interesting that he. Go ahead.
I would say I haven't been paying much attention to the rankings. I just started watching fights again. I literally just bought the ESPN thing today because now I'm back in the sport while doing what I do. I'm a performance coach and I have a study going with fighters. So I'm watching fights again. It's fun.
Yeah, it's part of your job now, right? Like in a different way.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get
it's gotta feel good, right? It's gotta feel to come back to a sport like that and just put it from a different perspective. And like just doing what you're doing now,
it's way better. And I'm old. I know I'm young enough to fight, but I don't want to. Like I see Glover fighting tonight. I've known Glover since I was a teenager. I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
And to see that he's still fighting, I'm like, dude, come on, what are you doing? Like, like, what? You're fucking old, bro. Like, stop. I'm not saying he's not washed up or anything, but he's not who he used to be. Even though he's still in like ranked top 10 in the world, he's a stud.
Yeah, he's still a contender, right? One of the top contenders.
Yes, but I just don't want to see one of my lifelong friends take any more damage. I don't. It doesn't feel good, especially now that I can actually feel things in life. I can. Like there was a long time where I was very numb, and now, especially working in psychedelics, God, I've got feelings now. Weird. I'm. It hurts, man. I don't like seeing my friends, especially the older ones, keep doing it. I'm like, dude, if I retired, I used to be the youngest one. I was the little one. I was the kid, and now I'm retired, and I'm like, what is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, what are you guys waiting for, right? Like you've done what you got to do in the sport. You've put your stamp in the sport, right?
Yeah, but you got to look at like Tito Ortiz and like Iceman. Like they're still out there doing it. I don't know why. I mean, it's crazy. But I mean, maybe for the money, maybe because they still want to be out there fighting, but. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, this is the thing. When Chuck came back last time against Tito, dude, he was a mess. He just got his neck fused. He got his knee done. He had this like equilibrium thing off with his neck. That's why he had it fused. So he like couldn't walk straight. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
You can't walk straight. How are you gonna fight this guy? This guy's trying to murder you. How are you gonna go?
Because he's a dick, and he just thinks that he can always beat up Tito. And I'm like, dude, Tito's been training this whole time. Tito hasn't stopped training his ass off.
Right.
And Tito has the bigger brother syndrome with Chuck, where Tito's a great guy. He really is. He's an amazing dude. Helped me with some shit. But whenever Chuck gets around or a camera gets around, dude, Tito just turns into some other fucking person that's such
something else, right? Yeah.
And I'm I get it with Chuck, because Chuck's a dick, Especially Chuck's always fucking with everybody. He's like the big brother, and
right.
Just good for Tito. He won finally. That fight was so stupid, but Tito's still fighting. He just beat Alberto Del Rio, who that guy sucks too, But who I don't know. He's still doing it. I don't know why or how, but whatever. It's working.
I mean, I guess some guys just gotta do it till they literally can't,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys know what am I thinking about? Australian kickboxer.
Australian?
Yeah, he's my friend. Now I can't think of his name. See, brain damage. See that?
Some fucking friend you are.
Damage. Oh God. And he's like 40 years old, and he needs new hips, and he just fought, and he's coming out of retirement. I'm like, what are you, John Wayne Park? Duh.
You think maybe? I mean, this guy's. I feel like now with the reach they can find other ways to make money, right? Like whether it's at a gym, starting a gym, or doing things like that, right? But it's just something that keeps on bringing them back to it.
Gyms are not a good investment, and that's
Okay.
why I've never invested in one. I'm invested in a bunch of stuff, and I'm invested in a new company that we're trying to change the face of judging and scoring in MMA, and it's called the Scoring Center. We just had our first live event on social media, where we have a group of senators, and we had Boss Root and Rashad's into it, Chuck's into it. You guys like Uriah Faber helping out with us. Like these are big name people who we've been talking to about it, and I brought some legitimacy, so now I own part of the company, and we're just looking to change things up in this sport. Like I'm trying to fix as much as I can because it's broken and because I have the time and energy to do it, and I have the boss. I can pull it off. So I'm working on some
right.
Cool,
and
cool,
at the
cool
end
stuff
of the day, the sport's still relatively young. It's still very young.
20,
so it's
21 or 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So it's gonna keep evolving. So it's good that people that like you guys that know what you're doing and talking about. Because before, like the judging and stuff, I think if I'm not mistaken, a big part of the judging is that the judges didn't know about all the different types of martial arts that these guys were bringing into it, right? So it's harder. It was just hard for it to get started and have good judges that know what they're doing, right?
What happened was they could have figured it out by now, but the boxing commission, they take care of it. And if you haven't noticed, that's a crooked industry. And I don't want to point fingers at anybody, but dude, I don't want to piss them off because they can ruin what I'm doing. I want to become teammates and go, listen, what you guys have is a broken system. I can facilitate getting the biggest names in the world in this, and giving guys after retirement an income. Judging them, paying them a lot of money to judge these fights, and I'm paying them without even. They're not even actually judging the fights until, like, let's say UFC, ESPN buys the product we're selling, and then puts it into their system and makes it work. So right now we're just working off of reach of all of our senators. The senators judge it. I need to figure out a scoring system. If anyone's good with math, I'm not. So I got to figure out a new scoring system, and I have some ideas. But so we're just trying to just make a difference, and we're gonna go back and review some old fights. I probably won't review my old fight with Demetrius because I know everyone keeps asking about it. But because we need an unbiased opinion. I'll be on the podcast. Yeah. I'll be on the podcast after and ask everybody what they think because I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like whatever. It's just getting it done and having an unbiased opinion. And the thing is, we'll have an app and you'll be able to see everyone's profile and then every single judging decision they've made. Every single one.
Oh, that's way cool. That's really cool.
Yes. So then you have a profile as a fan. You can see, you can affiliate with some person who you line up with the most, who makes these calls, which fighter, which legend. And then, like I said, I'm giving these people an income after of a decent amount of money, and it's enough to sit at home and watch the fight. You want to do it anyways.
Enough to pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
Well, and any way you can make the fight more interactive. If you have an app where I can view all the judging calls while it's going live, my God, that's awesome. While I'm watching the fight, I'll have people will not only be watching the fight for what's going on, but they're waiting to see the reaction from the senators, the judges, and everything, and that'll cause even more commotion. I'm pretty excited for something like that.
Yeah, and we can have it all up in plain view, and we'll have the new scoring system up, how we did it, broke it down. You can do, put a bunch of stuff up there, punch stats or whatever. We can figure all this stuff out. It's just having it calculated in real time. That's hard because I don't know anything about technology, and I'm trying to build 2 apps right now too. And
you always need nerds around for things,
Dude, it's so hard. And like my girlfriend's a super genius. She's been a scientist for 25 years. She's a professor at UCLA. I try and keep up with her mentally, and her and the other people that are in my life that are smart. and it's exhausting, dude.
And you're like, I'm gonna take a nap for like 30 minutes, and I'll come back.
Oh yeah, I had to come up here in bed and just like lay there and just like stare at nothing for a while.
Disconnect.
Yeah, just gotta unplug sometimes because I read a lot of big words. I don't know what they mean.
I get you. Hey, Ian, I wanted to ask you, with the fights, the way that they've been doing it with no audience, is that something psychologically that messes with the fighters at all? Like not having the audience being there to watch?
No. I mean, that's gonna help people because, like that's a big, visioning everything. Vision work is a big. The mental side of it's huge, and that's a big part of what I coach. I'm not going to work physically with that many people because I don't have the time. I own a few companies and I do things and I'm trying to progress and like I do a lot of stuff, and I just don't like I don't know. I don't have enough time to be in the gym with someone all the time. Which I would maybe I'll grow into it when I calm down and I have my farm and stuff I'm trying to buy. But I'm trying to buy a biodiverse farm.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
I want sustainable living, and I found it here. I found it here in Orange County, like 15 minutes from.
Oh wow, yeah. That's dope.
And I'm like, yeah, it's a Trabuco Canyon, but I don't know if I can afford it. It's really expensive. But I'll figure it out. That's just I'm a problem solver. But it's. I don't know where I was going with that, but I just talk too much all the time. I literally
you were talking about the mental side, how it affects them, whether having an audience or not.
At least to me, maybe the weird creepiness of being in a big open thing like that with not that many people would weird some people out, but most people are afraid of an audience. And
I feel like there's like less pressure, right?
Yeah. Have you guys ever been to a live event?
Yeah.
Not a UFC one. No.
Oh no, yeah. Well, I've been to like smaller fights, but nothing huge.
It's the UFC puts on the greatest live show in the world, and I say that as a fan because I love this. Obviously, I love this fucking sport so much.
Yeah.
I'm such a dork for it. I've done martial arts since I was 4, and that's just what I'm obsessed over. I finally have a new obsession, which takes up most of my day. But it's like this sport's really cool, and you guys go to these events, and they're fucking wild, dude. And you just like, I have to say that American fans are awful. Like, geez, guys. But, if I hear one more person talk about punching someone in the dick or sweep the leg,
that's so funny. That's so fucking funny.
I've yelled at people. Well, it's been a long time since then, but I've yelled at a few people. Like, shut the fuck up! It's being disrespectful. Just piss off. It's a great time.
Yeah, for the looks of this fight, I didn't see anything different at all. All these guys came out to kill it, like they were working, like, dude, that fight, the Justin Gaethje, I don't know how to say his name. Gaethje. Dude, he was there he was trying to kill that. He was trying to kill Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
And Tony Ferguson just kept on taking those punches. It was insane.
I thought he was going to tire out. I was with him in Colorado at the Onyx factory in his gym that they have in there. I went out there for a ceremony with Rashad Evans and the guys at Unlimited Sciences that I work with. And we did the ceremony out there and we got to go hang out with that place and have fun and shoot a bunch of footage and stuff. And dude, he threw every punch with full power. And he hit Tony with a lot of punches. I mean, like,
he was landing a lot. He was landing so much and hard punches.
Pistol whip. Yeah, it was so bad, and I don't know how he did that. I mean, and then Tony never like really got dropped like that bad.
It wasn't until the fight stopped that you could tell he felt that, because all those punches caught up to him. All 4 rounds.
His leg went stiff, and he was like
trying to grab the air and shit. That's when that was a good stoppage too, I think. Yeah, because he was.
That was fine. That was totally fine. I mean, they
and honestly, fucking Tony Ferguson, it's a champ in my eyes for that, dude. Like, honestly, I don't know who could have taken more punches, more fight-ending punches.
Yeah,
like that.
From a person that knocks a lot of people out and knocks them out bad. Like he hits hard. He goes, "You want to spar?" And I was like, "No, fuck no, get away, savage! You fucking savage! I'm here to take psychedelics and work, do content." I'm not jumping in there with you. And then I end up
Yeah.
sparring with Rashad. He's gentle, and he's not that. He's old.
he's up there already. He's not fighting for the title anymore. So
no, he's out. I mean, he's done.
Yeah. That's good. He was one of my favorite fighters too when he was coming up. Rashad Evans was the shit.
I used to hate him.
Yeah.
He was a dick to my nephew one time, and he'll admit it. He's like, "Oh, I used to be an asshole," and that pissed me off. And then he viciously knocked out one of my best friends, like someone I look at like as an older brother. And finally, Chuck one day goes, "Dude, you need to talk to Rashad. Like, you need to fucking relax, stop being an asshole, and talk to Rashad." And I was like, "Fine." I saw him at the UFC at weigh-in, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" Chuck says we need to talk. He's like, "We do. Can we talk?" And I was like, "Fine." And then we started fucking around, and now I love the man. He's so cool.
Funny, that's great. You think that, like you said, you thought Justin was gonna gas out. I think we saw how important your corner could be, because I think on the third or fourth round, his coach or trainer, whatever it is, he was like, bring it down a notch, shit. Bring it down a notch. Like you're going for the bleachers every time.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's good.
Just
Trevor Whitman comes from boxing.
Okay.
And that's a boxing approach. You know, that's a distance game. And you come out there and you gotta pop, but you can still move and you can still crack them. I mean, you can knock somebody out with 20% if you hit them right. It's hard,
right?
But you can just flash knock out somebody for sure. And you know, if you're just slipping and ripping and bang, you know, combinations, especially when the guy's tired and half conscious, can barely see out of one eye. Dude, that's you pick them apart that way, end up behind them or next to them this way. You know, you shuffle to the side, bop, and then they try and catch up to you, and then you're 2 steps behind. You're on this, you know, you're almost out here. It's like you can just rack people, you know, like look like a Lomachenko, you know, someone that has that sort of movement that can touch that much, and they touch and move. It's not just about being in one, like sitting here like this. It's about being able to move while you step and do everything, and you know, head movement, and there's a lot to it. Like I showed a few actual like real fighters my footwork setup, and they were like, "Whoa, there's levels to this." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm really good at this. I've obsessed over this my whole life." I mean, I've done a lot of sports, but I obsessed over martial arts since I was 4 years old, and I like to fist fight. I was, you know, I was getting in fights my whole life. I was at the beach every day, you know, surfing and screwing around and like beating up.
Being a hoodlum.
Being a hoodlum at Salt Creek Beach here in Dana Point next to the Ritz-Carlton, beating up tourists like a dick. So stupid. And it was just unfair. Me at 15, I was like 100 pounds. And I would just whip these old dudes' butts who, like, you know, grown-ass guys or fucking big buff guys trying to like take care of their girlfriend while we hit them with water balloons, you know, like pestering them. And it's just, it was so mean. It was so stupid. But really, I could have hurt someone.
Do you think that, because Tony Ferguson was supposed to fight Khabib, right? So do you think that his training camp being focused on him, you think that messed him up a little bit, the change?
How long was the window that he knew that it was Justin?
I think 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah, it could have for sure. You know, because he wasn't, and especially seeing Gaethje look like that. I mean, I was measured distance, timing, everything was perfect, and then he was throwing those heaters at him, and I was like, wow, that was some of the best boxing I've seen in the UFC, like ever.
Yeah,
you know, and that was
definitely.
And especially that sort of boxing, you know, like that was you know, hybrid MMA, but very, very good actual boxing and kickboxing. That was a beautiful, really, really, I mean, amazing approach. And Trevor Whitman's, I mean, I was always a fan, but actually being able to sit with him in his office and talk, and he's going to send me pads. I'm so excited, and I can maybe start training people a little more. Or at least have my kid and my girlfriend beat me up. But he's going to send me the whole body thing they make at Onyx. I'm excited. But he's just a smart guy, man. He's trained guys that are like WBC champions in boxing. So like, that's a high level boxer, and he's you know, he's one of these coaches. He's like I am. Like we're real cerebral, and everything is broken down at like an annoying level. But if you want to be able to you know, I didn't get it. I didn't get to stick there, but I get the respect of getting there, of being elite, of beating some people that are elite. You know, and because I was, whatever. I don't fight anymore, but like I was considered the pound for pound best person in the world at one point. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's it's neat. And now I'm kind of coming back. You know, now that I'm trying to do everything else, a lot of things are you know are well in life. You know, like everything's going great, and I'm just excited to kind of come back to MMA and just start training more because I was lifting weights for a while. I got buff. I was like 175 at the most. I'm 155 now. So imagine how big that was.
Yeah.
I felt like a ninja turtle.
How tall did you say you are?
5'5".
You're 5'5". You're 175.
I got a big ass and legs. Yeah, my back is huge. I'm just stocky, you know, and like imagine 20 pounds more up here. It was just too much. I was like, ugh.
Jesus, yeah.
I know.
Did it feel like weird moving around like that and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what happened was I retired and I've been biohacking since I retired. Like I'm not going to go back to sports. And I take a very small dose of testosterone every week because when you have as much brain damage as I have, and you understand biohacking and how my body is now compromised because of the damage that's been done. Because I died of a drug overdose.
The years and years of abuse.
Getting punched my whole life. I put myself in the hospital for a few days, snowboarding, hit my head, burnt my whole face on the ice. And you know, I've been taking the same thing, peptides, but I take peptides for my brain, and I take a little bit of testosterone for like that helps my natural system. And then I take the regular testosterone, and that's really all I take. I mean, sometimes I'll dabble with some cool shit that's like, oh, this is fucking this. I'm like, oh, let's try it. Cool. Like, what do I do with this? Because I'm fixing my body. Oh, BPC 157 is huge. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor is my favorite thing in the world. You know, their testosterone's great. It's endogenous testosterone. They make all kinds of stuff. It's like they make just all this performance stuff, and all this is diet and not lifting weights. Like this is maybe my natural size, but if I mean I do everything really hard. Like I work out really hard, and I was working at Lifetime Fitness in Laguna Niguel because I took a year off of my life to be a personal trainer, and just because it was fun, you know, and like I had a great time, you know, like I had a really fun time. But now
you were telling us about the last time you were here. Yeah,
it got a little gross. And I had to stop. And plus, I got a girlfriend, and like I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm really, you know, I've done a good job since I met her. But before that, I was like, well, I'm 35 years old and like a boy toy. This is not what I want to do. So I have a child. And like, I'm a fucking business owner. Like I don't know. I deserve better, and I found it. So I'm kind of happy.
Fair enough.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. How's the quarantine been treating you? Have you been spending a lot of time with your kids and stuff, or how are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's great. We're having a lot of fun. We work from home. My youngest daughter my daughter is 8. She is already homeschooled. My girlfriend has 3 kids here. And her 15-year-old wants to be homeschooled. The boys are 21 and 24, so they're grown up. And we're just hanging out. You know, everyone hangs out and we like do stuff. You know, like not a bunch of stuff together, but we talk and hang out and eat food and stuff. And it's nice to just be here. Like it's a nice step back out of reality because reality is a little crazy sometimes. And I think everyone needs to sit in time out and just realize what we're doing. Because we're fucking this up so bad. Like,
dude,
we're fucking our planet up so bad, and we just got like a glimpse of how we can fix it in like a day or two, like a couple of days, a week, whatever it is, to clear the air, like, and to do things like micro-remediation, which is how you clean the environment as a whole with mushrooms, whether it's out of the ground or out of the air. They sequester air and chemicals out of the air, or carbon. And which is what we need to take that out of the air. The mushrooms do that, and people don't know that. I'm like, listen,
okay.
And they've also bred or taught mushrooms, whatever they say, to eat plastic and cigarette butts. And
oh shit!
Soak up radiated material out of the ground and toxic material, and again take it out of the air. So think of the implications there. And it's I haven't even started a brand with this yet. And I know I need to because it's going to be huge. But I've been talking to some people in construction type, demolition business type stuff that I'm friends with, and I need to sit them down and be like, dude, listen, I'm gonna shake you if we don't do this. Like, like they shake you like a baby. Like it's just and it's so good for the environment, dude. And that's think about the impact there. That's a multi-trillion-dollar business. And that's I don't even know. I don't want that much money. That's crazy. I just want someone to do it. I don't want to be that rich. That's weird.
I know, right? Like, why do you need all that?
Dude,
Like it's crazy.
I know.
Like you hear about this billionaires. It's like, Jesus Christ! Like, when does it end, dude? Like,
yeah, I know of some of them, and some of them are great people. Like, I know the son of a very wealthy family. He's got like, I don't know, he's got $50 million worth of cars. One of his cars is $8 million. One of them. And he's always got all his allotments for all this stuff because that's what he does for business. And he makes so much money. And he's 22, I think it is 23, something like that. And the thing is if he deserves it. The guy's a businessman. He crushes it. He's in the gym every single day, eats healthy, like doesn't drink or drink a little bit, but barely, like on a birthday or something, but like never even smoke weed. Won't even smoke weed with me. I'm like, come on, smoke weed. Let's smoke weed. Smoke weed in your Ferrari. It'll be fun. But there's some of them are great people, but then some of them are fucking monsters, dude. And you're just in their radius. So like you hang out like with some of these people, you end up hanging out with them, and I'm just like, wow, dude. I want to be here right now. Like, please.
Well, I can just imagine when you have that much money, it's like the rules almost don't apply to you because you just bypass them all. You literally own fucking everything.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah. I'm sure it changes you.
Have you guys seen? It's spendbillgatesmoney.com. They literally give you like virtual funds. Yeah, it's the exact amount of money he has at that time, and you try to spend it, and I don't think anyone's ever come below like $1 billion. Like, it's crazy, like how much money he has constantly coming in.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I think they did a thing where they bought up like every single NBA team, every single airline. And he still had like billions of dollars left over. It was fucking crazy. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy. And I mean, well, cool. Like that's. I don't know if I want that much responsibility. I have a lot of fun in my life. I have a lot of fun. My life is great, and I don't. That sounds hectic, dude. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like being
I don't even know what I would
fun.
do with all that.
Yeah.
Like what? Jesus Christ! Like, if it would just feel like there's pressure on me to do something.
Yeah.
With that, it's like I don't.
But then again, I now I'm thinking more people are popping in my head that I know have a B in their bank now that I met, and some are rad people. You're like, what? What did you do? I'm like, oh my god, and like, dude, that sounds expensive. It's like Jesus. But then again, you there's different types of all people. Like, fucking poor people are shitty too.
Yeah.
Some of them are super. It's just
true.
Happens people. It's just the human condition. That's why we do psychedelics. That's why I teach psychedelics. Everyone is afflicted with the human condition, as Terrence McKenna said. So, we can all fix the human condition with psychedelics. So I'm not telling you to do them, but I'm telling you to do them responsibly.
Ian, I wanted to ask you, I know Santa Cruz just in January they decriminalized mushrooms in their area. Can you tell us maybe a little bit of like what we're going to be seeing, like how are they going to regulate it or you might not know, or you might know, but like tests or any way that they're going to like try to get people?
I work with
I'm pretty sure he knows, Frank.
I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, I want to see like.
Yeah, so put it this way. I make sure so we can show our legitimacy of the people that I work with. We check the box on everything. I mean, politically, the activism stuff, the psycho-spiritual, we get into the shamanistic side, the science side, the performance side. We do all of it, and the political side with Decrim and Ryan Menevar is our fearless leader. We can't do it for like two more years now because they didn't let us. And I mean, I don't know if we would have had the signatures. I mean, if anyone can pull it off, Ryan can. He's a genius. It's kind of crazy. And it didn't happen because of the corona. Because of corona, not that corona. Is it corona or not that corona? And
because of COVID-19.
So we have 2.5 more years. We have 2.5 more years. Yeah, because of COVID-19, we have 2.5 years to make this stigma go away and for people to realize how much healing is happening. Because, dude, you can heal everything with this. Even like I don't have any arthritis anymore. I've had 3 surgeries here, 2 breaks, 2 infections, fracture dislocation, 4 surgeries, bulging discs.
Wow.
Cracked my sternum twice, my collarbone twice, my hip and my groin. I tore all that, my knees. Yeah, it hurts, but I don't have any pain anymore. Like very little. I mean, because I work out every day. Like not every day, but I do a lot of stuff. Like I'm
you work out more than the average person, I'm sure.
For sure, more than me. For sure, more than me.
I have a lot of energy, and I eat really, really healthy because that's just how I eat. Because I was able to heal my daughter with diet and exercise and cannabis oil when she got sick when she was 2.5. And she had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis and she couldn't walk. And then now you see her today, and she's exactly like I figured she'd turn out. She's a super athlete, and she's homeschooled, so she's like ahead of the curve, with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And she's she's out wakeboarding right now with her new wakeboard in Havasu. She's always doing something, riding a horse. She's like got a new horse this Christmas that was pregnant. I'm like, oh, you got 2 new horses. I was like, okay, like that's cool. Like, all right. There's just always stuff. There's always things to do. Like she's dude, she can throw gainers into the pool or into like a foam pit and just like boost her snowboard. Like she's really cool, and she does jiu-jitsu. Of course, she can choke a motherfucker out. Yeah. Oh, she beat 3 girls up in soccer.
Oh shit.
She's crazy. Shit.
She's
She goes, Daddy. I took her. I picked her up, and I go, baby. I already knew the answer. I talked to her mom. I talked to my parents who saw it. The other kids' parents apologized to her because I guess they were picking on her the whole time. So I asked her. She goes, yeah, they were picking me. And you told me if someone ever grabs me, I can punch them. And one girl grabbed her, shouldered her. She shouldered the girl back, and she fell over and dropped. And started crying, and her friend grabbed her. She just dropped that girl. And then the third one ran away. So that's don't fuck with my kid. Like,
yeah,
that's awesome. How old is she?
She's 8.
Oh, okay.
Damn. That's fucking cool.
She's 8. Yeah, this is we live in an amazing area. Where life is great. Like her life's great. It's very awesome. Like she has a lot of fun, but there's creeps everywhere, and there's a lot of creeps that I grew up with. I'm a proud protector of a young female, just females in general. I'm not afraid of. Not afraid of anything. I'm a little too cocky most of the time. And I have that. What's what I've always done. And I've. Now that I have a daughter, I'm like, she's my only one. Like I don't. My girlfriend's 47. Like she has 4 kids. We're not gonna have any more kids, and that's fine. So I just teach her everything. Like she knows. Like I'm her PE coach, her teacher, and her like we do a lot of stuff together. It's a lot of fun, especially during quarantine. We do a lot of fun stuff. Do a lot of exercising in the pool. Like she'll run along the bottom of the pool with a rock and come back up, come back down and run the whole length of the pool again. Like she's crazy.
Jesus Christ. That sounds. We were hanging on the pool this past weekend, and it's not a very big pool. It's a medium sized pool, right? Yeah. But like I raced my brother-in-law from one end and back. I didn't make it back all the way. I just my legs fucking gave out. Like it was. Were you underneath the water? I was underneath going that way, and then coming back, I was on the outside. But I was underneath the first time when I was going that way, and then on the way back, I waited to like 3/4 of the pool. I was like, oh no, that's not. I gotta build up for this. I can't just fucking just race someone
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Swimming's
What you been doing, Frank? You still working out at all, Frank?
You know what? Since quarantine started and then I got laid off, like I've been working out a lot. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been playing a lot of basketball with my dad. We picked up a hoop, so I'm doing that. My dad rides motorcycles. He rides a his mountain bike pretty much every day now in the quarantine. So I started riding my bike again, just trying to catch up with him because I'm not gonna let this 70-year-old man beat this 30-year-old young buck, dude. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he was telling me like he was really proud of beating him at basketball. I'm like, dude, your dad's 70.
Yeah,
I feel like that should have happened.
Also,
he
again,
finally beat him.
I'm super fat though. So he's 70 and I'm super fat. That's like equal ground. 100%.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, your heart is beating like a 70-year-old.
Oh, for sure it is. For sure
Your heart's beating worse than your dad's,
Dude,
for sure.
My brother's getting fat, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna get diabetes. Like,
dude,
well,
for real.
I'm like, I travel the planet, and I teach health and wellness. Like, that's what I do. I'm like, he was an ex-fighter, and he could have gone on the Olympics and that diving on the diving board.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you know, I'm not letting this happen. What do I have to do? But
dude,
he's not listening. So
don't let him do it as a fat man.
And that's the thing,
like it's
like
bad
with all this Corona stuff.
Yeah, it's scary. You don't want to, dude. When I'm a bigger dude, and it scares me to like know that if I get it, I might not have a chance of surviving. Like it's kind of crazy. Did the audio go up?
And dude, that's
does diabetes run in your family, Frank?
Yeah, it does actually. So yeah, that's like one of the biggest pushes I think for me, like making sure I'm playing basketball every day or swimming or jumping on the bike.
Is the audio? Is you guys this audio okay?
Yeah, it's like I'm good. I can hear all of you guys.
Good.
Are you good?
I feel like it's cutting off.
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Yeah, I can hear everything.
I mean, I guess let's just keep going. What are we gonna do?
It's a little static.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay,
But yeah,
well, whatever then.
No.
So yeah, quarantine episodes. We're trying our best here.
So, but yeah, no, I think just making sure you're staying active right now.
This is how to shit in here.
This fucking guy. I think it's just about staying active, man. Because like we have a lot of time on our hands. Might as well be doing stuff.
Dude, I'm still working.
You're stuck at home all day.
Right. Either way.
Oh, and I'm not. I'm saying most people, like a good amount of people, have a lot of extra time on their hands, and they should be moving. And like you're eating at home. You should be eating healthy food. Mm-hmm. Why are you like we cook?
Yeah, that's true.
I cook 2 or 3 meals a day, and they're healthy. Like we eat healthy. I probably eat too much cereal. That's the one thing I shouldn't eat as much because I'm always working at my computer or I'm on my phone. I mostly work. I literally just got a laptop. I need to get the new one because it's borrowing this. It's like I'm always on like this thing mostly. But and I go to my office too, I guess. But that's only a few days a week because I don't know. I don't have to. Nothing's going on there. Well,
yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on there, but things that don't concern me. Like it's a cannabis distribution center. It's called the Hive, and think about it. It's a distribution center for dispensaries. So
that's crazy.
There's a lot of product there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the marketing part of my office. Like it's right. It's attached to that. Like we have a whole stage and sound stage, a DJ booth. Like the main guy that runs it is he's was in bands and was a sound guy his whole life. And so, dude, we have the sickest setup with a big projector, and we're gonna start putting on content there, and just be able to have private events with literally just a dozen people. Like nothing big at all. We just hang out in a warehouse on the stage, and
that's awesome.
I'm in a band now. I played my first instrument. The little box in it, like whatever that is. I don't know what it's called.
Is that a theremin?
I played it for a whole song.
I think it's a theremin.
Kind of. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no clue. I was in that, and I was banging on shit too because I took my shirt off. It was my birthday. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, fuck it.
And it's the office, so we just have fun there. That's what we do. That's what it's for, So of course it just turned into a shit show because I was banging on stuff and shaking things, and it was a good time. I'm in a band now. I don't know what the band is called yet, but we'll figure it out.
Dude, that sounds sick.
Call it,
a good time.
You should have like a few names and have people vote on it.
How about Uncle and the Creepies?
I'll be the fun guy.
Uncle Ian. Uncle Ian and the Creeps.
Yeah, there you go. Done.
Yeah.
The fun guy. That's a pretty cool name. That's
fun guy.
Pretty cool.
I'd be into it. I could see it.
Or
the fun guy.
Yeah.
This is my girlfriend just got me the shirt for my birthday. And it says
Yeah,
the fun guy.
I was looking at your shirt. That shit looks sick. Yeah.
Mushrooms?
You guys could play at like Burning Man next year.
My brother's played at
Burning Man still a thing?
Yeah, but I think you have to like buy tickets now or something.
I want to go so bad.
Dude, all the pictures I've seen look really crazy, like the cities and shit. Like, it looks like an experience for sure.
Yeah, so my brother used to build it and break everything down for Lab, and he used to spin there, and he was a burner.
Oh,
and
shit.
That was a weird time in his life. But now I go to all these parties that are pre and post or Burning Man people that are there, and dude, I've never seen more beautiful creatures in my life. Where there's crowds of hot chicks just staring at you like in meat. You're like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, did I put on? I'm like, do I look that buff? Like, what is happening? It's never been like this before. I'm like,
you're a very desirable man.
What's your social media?
Right.
I'm just like, what? Hold on.
Dude, I remember.
Like, okay, here it's this one.
I remember when I was like in high school. Yeah. I would hear about Burning Man just being like this crazy like orgy place, and then I found out it was like an art festival that also probably has orgies. But either way, I was like, dude, I want to go there when I grow up, and still haven't been.
There's an orgy. There's an orgy tent.
Oh yeah.
So there's a whole tent for orgies there, and it's
anyone can never go in there, or
I would. Yeah, and I was gonna go this year, but I didn't because Corona's happening. But dude, those parties, like everyone's so cool. Those parties are so nice, and it's the Jungle House party that I went to in downtown LA by the train station, and dude, it was really fun. And it's just a really good time. Like I recommend going to those things very much so.
Dude,
it's a lot of weird people, but like they're just, it's interesting, fun. Everyone's happy and nice. Drugs. But yeah, it's like whatever. It's fun. The music's great too.
That's what's up. Yeah, that sounds like
that's awesome. How much are the tickets for Burning Man? They're probably expensive, huh?
I think at least $200. I would probably, if not more.
A couple grand, I think.
Yeah.
How much time do we have? Do we have time left?
We have like 7 minutes left.
What happened?
Nothing. What do you mean?
All right, Ian. Do you want to tell us about? You just launched the website, right? Or has that been up already? Or did I just find out about it?
No, it's been up for a little bit. I had another one. Sorry, it's kicking in. My website. It is the McCallmethod.com.
Yeah,
the McCall method, not McCall method, because then you'll come to a physical therapist, a middle-aged woman that's a physical therapist. I haven't seen it yet, but I gotta look it up. But yeah, the McCallmethod.com, and then
the McCallmethod.com.
The world's first psychedelic integration coach for high-level sports or performers. It's about mindset focus. Tapping into the deepest parts of your psyche with psychedelics and with breath work, meditation, daily practice of being a better person. Like realistically, like you're a fighter, you're tortured. A lot of athletes that are that successful are fucking tortured. And I've reached the elite status, and I fell from elite status without really hanging on. It was a shit show. And I went to jail when I was in the UFC, and the DEA raided my house.
Wow. Fuck.
Like, They was like, what the fuck happened? Like, they thought I was a drug. They thought I was a drug dealer, and I was like, I don't do that anymore. Like, my daughter's like 1 year old. Like, I stopped doing that when I found out my ex-wife was pregnant. I was like, you guys should know that. Like, it was something I did do, and I get it. They're like, oh, we got a tip, and I'm like, you guys are assholes. Like, this is bullshit. But you know, it was just a thing. Like that shit happened to me while I was in the UFC, and I was supposed to be the best fighter in the world. Like, what am I doing? You know, like, my life was fucking. Damn. It just went off the rails. You know, I did a lot of dumb shit, and you know, it's just not a good look. I was crazy.
So from that, the McCall method was born, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a
my
great
healing
time,
of myself, and then my education. My healing of myself through work in psychedelics, but also, man, I'm telling you, it's the psychology side of psychedelics, the breaking down, you know, the stories we tell ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm the most interested.
Yeah, so the integration work is
that's what
so
I've been the most interested in.
Yes. Yeah, you have setting an
Sorry,
intention.
I think this is like
that's
some lag.
The things you have.
Sorry.
Let him talk, Pablo. God.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I think you're good, Ian.
Yeah. What's good?
There's lag on mine, so when I say something, it's showing up on here late.
That sucks.
Okay.
Yeah, just
go ahead. Do you want me to talk?
Yeah, no, let him talk, dude. Hold on for like a second.
Okay, so
just plug your shit, so we can end it.
Okay. But with psychedelic work, the most important part is the integration after. Is how you're going to integrate the things you learned during the trip into your daily life, in daily practice, into figuring those things out. You know, hearing someone talk about themselves and about their day and about their situation in life, and just kind of being able to help them change that. Don't say those things like that. Change this up. Let's work on this. Let's go through breath work. Let's go through meditation. Of course, if I'm working with fighters, I'll go over technique and I'll go over the mindset with performers about going on stage or actually fighting. You break all that stuff down mentally, through psychedelic work. And then plus having, you can microdose in the UFC. You can take mushrooms in the UFC. They're okay with it. Like, they know that I've sat with them. They know, like, they are openly say, yeah, tell everyone what you're doing. This is great. Like, tell them that you talk to us. So like they got my back, but I'm also showing the performance benefits of the body and the mind while you're on microdoses. While you're on a lower amount of psycho. They say a subperceptual dose, but athletes like to kind of go a little higher than that. So it's perceptual, but there's a heightening of all your senses. You can see better. You can analyze everything better. Everything's broken down. You can see their microaggressions in their face and their posture and their breath and their footwork, especially if you study someone like I always did. You see these things, and people don't hit you. And I was good at that. And then you realize how to with not just the diet, but the performance, the microdosing that I don't give people medicine like this is illegal. This is something I have them do themselves. That's one thing I always say is like, I'm not a drug dealer. Sorry. But a blend I recommend, is a certain blend for this person because they want to accomplish this, whether it's inflammation based or nootropic value based or cardio based, with vasodilation, like some cordyceps mushrooms. They're good for cardio. You have lion's mane mushrooms that have a good protective value, a good nootropic value. Then you have something like black pepper for absorption, and then you have turmeric and CBD. So you have a whole blend of things that break down inflammation. Okay, and then you have something that's. I'm not trying to heighten your body. This right here. By heighten this, you're fucking out of whack. You're an athlete. You're in the UFC. You know what you're doing. I want to heighten your brain, and I want to help you get in there and figure all this shit out. And plus, I know a lot technically, so I can help break shit down, and I'm not biased. I want to blend into a team, and then I can adapt, and I can help teach all this shit. I can do all of it. This is what I'm good at. So I just like working with people, but I like them knowing, because I don't want to step on toes and get weird, because people are like, you're a psychedelic what coach for my fighter? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, think about that. And I've talked to a lot of coaches, being invited to the UFC by Jeff Nowitzki and being able to talk to fighters, because that's what he wants me to do, because I'm building a study with this. And you hear the reaction, and people love it, because a lot of people are already microdosing, but people are doing it wrong. And mostly they're macrodosing wrong, but I'm sure they're microdosing wrong too. And it's about learning actual science, because I'm surrounded by it. And that's what I do all day. It's a lot of fun, but actually getting the nutrition and knowing the performance, and then having access to, the athletes to put it on it's a big blend of things that I have all that right now. And it's great. I'm working with people. I'm talking to a lot of cool people. It's really rad, from all different walks of life, from just a lot of stuff. I don't want to say where, but it's cool.
That's awesome.
It's nice to see people taking me serious. Like they're people are like, wow, this is really cool what you're doing. I love it. Like, can we talk? I'm like, yeah, okay. All right, then just call me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That's gonna be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to see what else you do in the future. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Your Instagram, Uncle Creepy MMA, right?
Yes, Uncle Creepy MMA, and then the McCall method on social media as well. I'll be putting out like performance type stuff on there, and just stuff about mycology and psychedelics, I guess, as in general. So yeah, those two things. Check out Unlimited Sciences. That's who Rashad and I are working with for our study, and it's in beta stages. It's not really going yet, but we're working on it. And then also check out decrimca.org. It's for the decriminalization effort of all of California, and go register there, please, because we need more votes, and we need to make this initiative go through. Because it's just going to help a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people that can help. I mean, vets. It's literally everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. All right, dude. Thank you for joining us. Thank you guys for listening. To the listeners, thank you, Frank.
Oh,
I appreciate you, my brother.
Oh, you too, man.
I know I make fun of you a lot, and people tell me that. I'm only saying this because people tell me that. So
they're like, you make fun of Frank way too much.
You're a dick.
People used to, but not anymore. I think they like it now.
That's fair.
So,
it's grown on them. All right, guys.
Well, we're out.
Fighting for TLBG women, do the things that got it and will it. Trans rights are human rights. My teeth shine like movie lights. You can do it big if you do it right.